Okay, so we're back with some more clickbait viral garbage and cool stuff. It's a little bit of everything. And we're starting out with this trad script of another one of this same idea. We seen one of these a while back where they have all the names of X's on their arm.
Right, like crossed out, like it's their list.
Yeah, my problem again is it's way too well done and too like it's all very obvious that it was all done at the same time. And I understand that's the joke. It's like maybe they've even been with all of these people. I don't know how many people you're going to meet named Sadie or Olga in this day and age, but I guess it depends on where you live.
You know, I like the thing about these tattoos that like gets me is like we still live in a society where this is a guy thing.
Yep.
If I went and got this tattoo, I'd be like, people would think, oh man, that's gross.
I don't know. There's a woman that's on a quest right now. I seen it just the other day. She's up to 480 men she slept with, and you should see the comment sections. Like, they're not shaming her. They're like, oh, I want to be next, because she's on a mission to sleep with 600 men.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's not how people are talking at all. They're like, oh, I wish she was in my neighborhood. Yeah, people are fucking lining up hoping to be next. I think there's a lot of guys that haven't been touched by a woman, and they're in awe of the idea of a woman like that, right? Because it's like, what if I'm next? Who's she gonna fly into my? Because like she must have some kind of criteria for it.
Yeah, but I feel like no one's wifing her up.
I mean,
then
well, I don't know. Can you imagine being the guy that was like suave enough to keep that?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just behind on social media things.
I
or,
would
like,
take
pop
it as a
culture,
challenge.
worldly
I would be
stuff.
like, yeah, I would be like, all right, I'm going to be the last.
I just think this tattoo...
You ain't never a dick like me.
It still classically works for males more than it works for females.
Well, this is a male idea.
And again, I think, well, yeah, another notch in their belt, you know.
Well, I don't think it's that at all. I think this is like, oh, she left me, I'm getting another one. Like, we literally had a doofus in here not long ago that wanted me to laser off a name on his chest so that he could tattoo the new woman he's with name on his chest, and he's back here 10 minutes later telling you your skin is so soft. Like, he's just a big dum-dum. Like, that's not, oh, well, he's another notch in his belt. No, that guy's barely smart enough to breathe.
Yeah.
He's just turned on by whatever comes by him.
We can have an episode of horror stories from the perspective of a female tattoo artist, you know?
I mean, it's not like it used to be, but, like, that's just a dumb guy operating on, like, very low brain activity.
What not to say to your tattoo artist, though? Don't tell them that they have really soft skin. It's a little creepy.
I also had to tell him to sit up because he was laying down on the couch trying to get a woman to make out with him.
Yeah, just
like
gross.
but like there are people that dumb out there.
Gross behavior.
Like that guy has the intellectual capacities of a toaster oven.
He also told me to turn off my light while I was tattooing him because it was in his eyes. He refused to lay down, which was the best position.
It looked like a douchebag Halloween costume.
Anyways.
Yeah, so like
guy.
I wouldn't think that it's like that necessarily. I think that there are people like that guy out there all over, and this is a meme mocking that.
Okay.
That's what I think. I don't think it's like, oh, I banged all these. I think these are all women that this person loved. That's the joke, and he's hoping that this one's going to be Mrs. Right.
Yeah.
That's how I read these. That's how it was for me.
I was going to say, I think you could relate to this maybe more.
Yeah, I was never the guy who was like looking for one night stands. No. I was the guy who was trying to find the right one, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's how I see it. I don't think it's like, oh, I banged all these, because like if that was the case, then the list would be a lot longer.
Right? Yeah. Maybe Betty will be the one that.
I'm hoping for Betty to be the one, but we'll have to see. So. I mean, I like this idea. I think it's funny, but I think it's probably going to be a thing that now we're going to be seeing done in many different ways over and over again, and the joke gets like dumber as time goes on.
I want to see the one where they've purposely done the scripts a little different every time. Like you've gone to a different artist to get each name added.
That's the way that it would look organic.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that has happened anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure that's happened, but it's not going to be something you see as a meme on Instagram.
No.
If you do, it's going to be on, like, Sucky Tattoos or something.
All right, next one.
So then we have another one of these. Man, I must like these more than I think because I keep including them. But this one really has my heart because I had a big fat cat like this, right? And like I think, like I understand it's not healthy for the cat to be overweight. I do, but like there's something about a pretty overweight cat that's just more charming than.
Wow.
Like we have a cat now that's like an outdoor cat, and it kind of does its thing. It's very athletic. It's in great shape. You know, it's a very friendly cat. Don't get me wrong, but it's too active and it's annoying.
Right.
It's like, hey, you want to fucking just sit down and eat some Cheetos or something?
I think that's the one thing that like
you'd be
one
more
of the
charming with another 10 pounds on you.
That you really loved about like our other cat Lilith, who we had to rehome because she didn't get along with the other cat and it was not good. Mm-hmm. But you like Lilith was the fat cat, and she was like fat, lazy, laid around.
Yeah, she was. She was almost perfect.
Yeah.
She's just a little feral. But this thing, like the shading that they did around its belly, makes it look like so soft. I want to go up.
I just want to
like I'm not the guy who wants to touch people's tattoos. I understand there's no actual difference, but like it does look like. It feels quite soft.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it feels quite fluffy.
Yes.
To the eye. And
right, and like it'll have that pudgy feeling when you push on a kitty's belly.
Like if you told me we go get a cat today, it's gonna be this thing, we're probably coming home with a cat. Right? My only problem is I don't know what its name is. And I'm thinking it's maybe like Chrissy or something. You know, like it's gotta be like
Chrissy the cat.
Yeah, well it has to be something soft and kinda like I don't know, like princessy. You know,
what about
like
Princess?
Well, actually, I did know a cat named Princess, and it was a large cat.
Yeah.
But it again had that kind of feral vibe to it, where if it was laying like this and you rubbed its belly, it would probably tear your fucking hand apart.
Yeah.
So, you know, just because it looks that fluffy and happy doesn't mean that it's gonna be good with it.
Yeah.
You know, just saying. But yeah, this is my favorite one of these.
Pretty dang cute.
These bendy guys so far. So. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever had this vibe. Hey?
No.
Have you ever had one of these? If I move, I might shit myself? Or
no.
Not I might. I'm quite confident I will shit myself.
I've never had that happen.
Well, this must happen often to this person.
Right.
Like, it happens often enough that they needed to put it on their back. And my issue is, like, this is quite nicely done. This is, like, everything that's here... Like, your first instinct with these is always to go, oh, that's terrible.
Right.
And then upon inspection, it's like,
no, it's not so terrible.
It's not terrible at all. Like, this would be a hard tattoo to do this well. Look how black the black is. And then everything that needs to be straight is straight. The script is on a swivel, but it's done so on purpose, you know? So, this is a nice tattoo of a very fucking weird... Not just a weird idea to do this, but like... What propels this thought?
I don't know.
Like, do you have chronic diarrhea? I was with my son's mother had Crohn's, and there were times, but like, I don't think she wanted to put this on her back. This has got to be like, is this from a movie or something?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the reference, but that's just me.
It's like pretty fucking wild, and. Obviously, it's going to be hard to add to this. I mean, you're not going to build out the room she was in. I don't imagine they're going to. When people do things like this, I don't think that they're necessarily thinking about what this is going to look like in a potential bodysuit one day. I mean, it would be interesting to see them build a whole bodysuit around this idea, but, I mean, not interesting enough to pursue that, I would think.
Right.
I like the little frosty he has on his arm, too. You think that's Frosty the Snowman? Get a close-up of that guy.
I mean...
Let's go look in close on the...
Their kiddos' version of Frosty.
The black saturation is decent. It's not perfect. It's decent.
Yeah.
It's better than it should be. Right? It's better than you would think it would be.
What a tattoo.
So this is another one of those ones. I think this is actually real. And I have seen people do this. I've also seen people do, like they'll do like brand names on their body for money.
Interesting.
Like there are actually companies that will pay you to put their brand on them because it's like constant advertisement. I don't know what the the likelihood of that happening is, or like how often that's happening, but it's definitely happened. I mean, the issue is there's just so much fake shit out there these days. This very easily could be fake, but I have seen people with Trump tattoos, and so it wouldn't be that surprising for someone to put it on their forehead.
This is trauma.
No, it says Trump. It says Trump, not trauma.
It does say Trump.
I don't know why you thought that said trauma.
I don't know. I saw an A.
No, if it said trauma, I think that would be a funny in.
Why would you get Trump on your forehead?
No.
I'm so confused.
It says Trump, and
blonde moment.
It makes more sense to have Trump on your forehead than trauma.
I think I would get if Pepsi would give me free Pepsi for life.
Not
I would
on your
put
forehead.
On my body. I would definitely wear a Pepsi logo.
And like
all I need is free Pepsi.
Pepsi logo is like not a bad logo anyway, right? Like it's like in the scale of like logos and what's out there, like the Pepsi logo is not that bad.
Yeah.
And like lots of people get it tattooed anyway, so I think they would never do that deal.
I mean, I'm not, but
yeah. You'd have to be pretty fucking famous to pull that, I think.
I mean, I think even like famous people who are walking around with a Pepsi logo, I can think of one, probably don't have a sponsorship.
Yeah, the thing is, and definitely not. But the thing is, like, it's not surprising to me, and it wouldn't be hard for me to be convinced this is real, because like any big cult figure, and I'm not going to get too far into politics here. I'm center left, I would say, if I had to comment. But the reason why this doesn't surprise me is because any cult figure will have people who will do this.
Oh yeah.
Like literally any cult figure, and Trump has a cult following. I don't care if you like him or not. I don't care what your opinions of him are. He is a cult-like figure.
Oh, and he has been forever.
He's one of the biggest cult leaders alive today, maybe of all time.
He went for president. He was a cult.
People counted him out from the beginning, and it was like, no, this is going to be because he's just different. The
but
duck walks different. Like he's different.
They counted out Schwarzenegger too the first time that he, there's a power in celebrity, right? And
sure, but like some of them are more than others. Like no, there's celebrity out there that couldn't convince you the sky is blue. Like they're just like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Just make your movie and keep your mouth shut. There are people that don't have that kind of pull. Yeah. Donald Trump walks in the fucking room, you're like, oh, that's a different thing. Like that's a different guy than everyone opposed to him. He just is. He just, for better and worse, by the way.
Definitely a character.
It's like, it's just, there's a magnetism to it, right?
Yeah.
And so when you see things like this, it's like, oh yeah, for Trump, I could see it. I don't say that it's a good idea. It's a terrible idea for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't have to state that. First off, it doesn't look nice.
No.
And you've polarized at least half the world, at least.
Yeah.
Immediately. So
and
I hope it's worth it.
As little Canadians, we're sitting up here watching the States being like, oh man, this is the best drama on TV right now.
Well, that's all it is. It's like professional wrestling for like full-grown adults.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not knocking professional wrestling. I have a morbid fascination with the old stuff in particular. But like, it's basically like soap operas for grown people.
Yes.
Not just grown men, where wrestling is more for men than women. It's more like a soap opera that has...
Especially for us, we're like, oh, look what's going on down there.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's much more interesting than our politics. So I think there's a lot more dramatization that happens and more media spin. And I think the whole world views it that way. I don't think it's just Canada. I think part of the reason why it's become such a thing is because they make so much money on the stories and the characters and stuff, right? And that's where the news cycle loves Trump.
Yes.
Like they make so much fucking money on him, right?
Oh yeah.
So it becomes like, what did he do this time? Did he breathe today? Let's write a story. So
right.
And I don't blame them either, because like I understand controversy creates cash.
Yes.
The most clickbait shit that I do on here is always the stuff that trends the hardest, right? Whatever's in vogue that day. So it makes sense from a business standpoint to run these stories.
Definitely does.
But yeah. So
let's
then
look at the next one.
We've got this.
Save the planet.
What do we call
it's a cow.
this? Is he watercolor cow?
I don't know.
I don't even know what you think of this. Like, it looks again like the problem is there's so many of these days that I want to think this is well done and intentional, but I don't know what the fuck is going on. There has to be a meme to this.
I don't know why it saved the planet, but it's a cow.
No, because the cows, like, you know, we're using cows, we're eating cows, they're giving us milk. I don't know.
Is it,
it could
or
be
is
any
it because
animal.
they like there's like their methane emissions or
Probably.
whatever?
I think so. Because look, he's farting.
Is he?
Right,
I thought that was like his nipple or something.
No, I think because there's something about there's a fart going off back there. I think there's something about cows and they
carbon.
They fart and it releases
methane.
some kind of fuck. But like I'm wondering what the blue and green and pink is for. Like there has
He's
to be.
He's supposed to look like the globe, but it's a cow.
Is that the idea?
But the pink is the udder.
Oh, I see that part's lost on me. I understand the idea of like because you could use any animal theoretically, but then use the cow because of the gas they release or whatever the fuck. But like, I don't know. I'm thinking there must be a meme attached to this that I'm just not getting.
This is this is like, go to the comments and inform us if you know what's going on with this.
Oh, this one was trending for a while. I seen all the meme pages putting this up.
Yeah, but like someone, I mean, obviously me and Rem are missing something.
Well,
with
we're
this.
older people.
Yeah.
So like this is probably a younger person's idea.
You know, someone give us like give us the explanation for what's going on here, because it's lost on us.
The only reason why I know how old I'm getting is because I still have to interact with young people every day.
Yeah, so do I.
And I don't like sometimes like the new phraseology or the oh, that's cooked, or like that's crazy, like the things that come in and out are rapid fire these days. And I'm always having to relearn all of these stupid new ideas and themes and fucking like slogans, and it's never accelerated more. And obviously we had them in the 90s, what's up and all that shit, right? That was the same fucking thing. Yeah, exactly. But like it was slower build then because the internet pushes this shit on people
everything rotates so fast. I don't even try and use these like catchy words.
By the time us old folks get using them, it's like cringe for the young people, and then they don't want to do the joke anymore.
I always, though, when I feel old is when I'll be tattooing a client, and I'll be thinking, oh man, like this person is older than me. Like that's kind of like what's going through my mind. Like, you know, this person must be much older than me, and then they tell me their age.
Well, that's what happens when you don't take care of yourself.
And they're my age, or they're maybe even a little bit younger.
There are people who come in here all the time that look like they're just about ready for the retirement home, and they're younger than me.
Right.
And it's like, what the fuck happened to you?
Right.
That's what happens when you don't give a shit about yourself. Yeah. Unfortunately.
And then quite often they assume that I'm not their age because I look young for my age. Mm-hmm. I'm told that all the time. And then so like they'll be like, yeah, when I was your age, and I'm like, I actually think we're the same age.
Yeah, that always happens. And like I said, like the other week, most people assume that I'm in my 20s.
Yes.
And I'm old enough to be their parents usually.
Yeah, that's.
I had a guy the other day, and it's like he's telling me about how I'm gonna regret everything when I'm older, and it turns out he's younger than me, and it's like, well, you're either the authority because you regret everything you've done, or you're the last person to be talking about regrets because look at the fucking state of you.
Yeah.
You look like you fucking woke up in a garbage bin.
Right, it's pretty funny. Anyways.